Hello there guys, welcome to another video of mine. As you can see, I'm playing the PlayStation right now as I do this video. And I just thought it would be okay for me to give my thoughts on the Sarri's comments after his after our 2-0 loss against Arsenal. And they're pretty interesting because he comes at the team's mentality. He's not the first manager to say that, so I mean there has to be some sort of truth into what these managers are saying. You got three different managers coming in and saying the exact same thing. It all started with Mourinho. He said after the Leicester game, after we had lost 2-1 or 3-1, something like that. Mourinho's last game for us, he said he felt betrayed, and this is a new era, a new game where players have so much control because I don't know if it's because of social media and they have a lot of stain, or is it because they're the players and at the end of the day, if they don't perform, they're not going to be sanctioned. The worst that will happen to them is that they'll maybe get sold to a different team, or you know it doesn't stop them from getting paid or anything. So to them, it's not really nothing. They know that before they leave, the manager's going to leave. The club's almost always going to choose the players over the coach because managers are interchangeable. Players aren't. If you're a talented player, if you have a player like Ronaldo or a Hazard, they have staying power. They know you're not just going to give them away free willy-nilly, you know what I mean? But Hazard, he did an interview. The video will come out later on today. He did an interview, and he speaks in French. It's a French journalist that's asking him these questions, and he's flirting and entertaining the idea of going to Real Madrid. Kind of similar to how Thibaut Courtois did in January before he left to Real Madrid. The season was halfway over, and you could tell his focus wasn't with Chelsea anymore. He didn't care about Chelsea anymore. He was just there just to be there. And personally, I don't care if it's Hazard, I don't care if it's Ronaldinho, I don't care if it's Messi, or clubs of players of that stature. If you want to leave, leave. I'm very appreciative of what Hazard has done for us. He said in the interview that after the World Cup he wanted to leave Chelsea, but there is no offer, so he was just more than happy to stay. But it kind of made it seem like Chelsea was second choice. Like if there was a bid for Real Madrid, he would have said peace and left. And if that's the case, that maybe Sarri might be right. The players have weak mentality. If Hazard's your best player, and he's just playing, maybe he's not giving 100% every time, every challenge, or every time he step on the pitch. He's the leader on the team, whether he likes it or not, because he's the best player on the team. He has to lead. He has to show commitment, and I want to back Sarri because you have these players that feel that they can show up whenever they want to. That's not benefiting the club. I would rather sell Hazard maybe for $2 million, 200, not $2 million. Please forgive me for that. $2 million, that's ridiculous. At least $200 million, and build from there. We'll have $200 million to spend to maybe get 3 players or 4 players of top quality players, and hopefully we can develop Hudson-Odoi, maybe staying. We offered him $70K a week contract, but apparently Bayern, the prick that they are, they're being very, very adamant of getting Hudson-Odoi, and they offered him $85K a week. So I've been told $85K a week. Now I don't know if Chelsea is gonna match this offer, or if they're going to if they're going to match it. It's the same thing as what happened to Lukaku. It's gonna happen to Hudson-Odoi. I feel like he's gonna choose Bayern over us if we're trying to match a deal. We have to go bid for bid, toe for toe. If they offer him $85K, we have to offer him $90K. It's just how it has to be. Personally, I don't know. I think the player will stay. I think he will stay, but maybe that's just me being I'm just being ambitious. I don't know. We're not as big as a club as Bayern Munich, but he's already established there. He knows his way around London. He doesn't have to learn a new language, and you know, him playing in England, it benefits him from the international standpoint because you know. Uh, more players from the Premier League are chosen to play in England. It's just how it is. I don't know. That's just how it is. But back on this Hazard Sarri thing. Sarri was attacking the players. He was like, that first. The game reminded him of Tottenham versus Chelsea when we played Tottenham early in the season because Arsenal basically used the same tactic to stop us and to win the game, and they just made us look silly. And they took Jorginho out of the game. That's the common denominator. That's why a lot of Chelsea fans recently have called for Jorginho to either step up or to be switched, alternate roles with Kante, do something to change it up because once you take Jorginho off the game, then that's our system. The game's over with. And I don't like Ferdinand, but I agree with what he said somewhat. He was like he has not over 90% passing and over 2,000 passes completed, but 0 assists. That's not productive. That gives us nothing. We're struggling on the attacking side. We're struggling at putting the ball in the back of the net. So if he's not contributing in any way, shape, or form, he gets shut out the game. That's completely it. I honestly, when I look at Jorginho and Kante, I see that the role that they play, the reducer role, I think Kante will play that role a whole lot better, man. That's just his natural position. He's great at winning the ball and bringing the ball from the defensive side of the football to all the way down to the attacking side. He's great at transition, getting those quick passes, great decision making on the ball in tight areas when he's being pressed. And I just don't see Jorginho doing that. I think if they swap roles, maybe that gives Jorginho more creative freedom to maybe play passes because I see him try. He tries. I'm not gonna say he doesn't try. He tries to play that pass, but he doesn't have that. I don't know. His job is simply to be the pivot of the team. Pretty much, that's all he does, and that to me. He's interchangeable. We should have another player, maybe play Ampadu. That position, that reducer role is very, very interchangeable. I don't think that it's not needed. It's needed for the system to work. Sarri doesn't have the players that make the system work. I do believe in the system, but I'm just saying Jorginho should be more held more responsible and accountable because he hasn't been playing great. His numbers say, yeah, he's playing fantastic, but the eye test says he's doing nothing to contribute to the team, and him playing every game, it just gives him the freedom to just, if he has a shitty game, oh well, I'm going to play the next game. There's no repercussions, there's no accountability, and that's another problem. There's lack of leadership. A lot of people believe that David Luiz is our leader, and he might be our leader. He's probably our best defender. Our most consistent defender. I think Aspilicueta and Rudiger are our best defenders, but there's some people out there that believe David Luiz he's definitely the best at playing those balls, and his vision is second to none. That's maybe play David Luiz in the Jorginho role. And slide Christensen in. Just try something different. That's all I want, man. And really, Sarri doesn't have much of an option but to change the team up this coming up Thursday against Spurs because if you keep playing these players with weak mentality that you say they have weak mentality, then they're gonna keep performing the way that they're performing. Especially now that you come out and said this, it's a huge gamble. So now Thursday you have to play Emerson. You have to play Zappacosta. You have to play Hudson-Odoi. You have to play Ampadu. You have to play these players now because if you keep putting the same players out there on the pitch and you accuse them of being weak-minded, then what do you think the end result is going to be? This is a huge gamble, but I feel like Sarri had to do it because at the end of the day, he was either going to have to wait another year and do it because you know how we are. We win the league, and then the next season, we play like shit. So if he's thinking like that, I might as well just step my foot down on the team early on. It's either gonna be my way or the highway early on. Sarri's Italian manager is pretty strict when it comes to that. I've noticed that they have very strict policies and they're very stubborn of upholding them. So Sarri's not gonna change his way of thinking. The team, if the club is really, if this Sarri's really our guy, we have to back this guy. You know, because at the end of the day, I'm tired of the cycle, the everlasting cycle. If we have to clean house to get Sarri, to get our team to play how Sarri wants, bring in the players he needs, then so be it. You know, Hazard can leave. The interview was in French. I translated it from English to French, or French to English, and it's perfect French. I mean it's perfect translation. It's not fake about it. The interview is not fake. Everything he said in the interview is real. Is legit. And he was just saying that if Real Madrid, I'm paraphrasing, if Real Madrid were to offer him an offer, he'd leave, and that he really considered leaving and really was looking forward to leaving to go to Real Madrid, but the bid never came, and you know Zidane left, and just a whole bunch of other things happened. He wound up staying at Chelsea. So, you know, Hazard, if you're out there, man, just give it. It's different from Courtois because at least Hazard is performing. He's giving us way more than Courtois ever has. I never really liked Courtois. I was kind of upset when Cech sacrificed, and thank you, Petr Cech, by the way. You did loads for our club. Greatest goalkeeper of all time. Most clean sheets in the Premier League history. Most minutes without conceding a goal. Everything, man. Cech is a legend. But Cech sacrificed his starting role, which he still had another good year or two left. Arsenal defense is shit. I don't give a fuck. They're shit. All right. Arsenal defense is shit. Petr Cech, he had 1 or 2 years left in his prime, in my opinion, and they didn't take advantage of that. They wanted to blame Petr Cech, saying that he made goofy mistakes. But I'm looking at Arsenal's defense. You guys is trash, man. Your defense is trash, and that really I don't want to say epitomized, but that really just shows you how lacking we are in the attacking side of the field. We couldn't score against Arsenal. Arsenal, man. And Arsenal, they're struggling. They have so many injuries. It's ridiculous. They're almost in the same situation as us, but it's worse. They don't have the financial support that we had. They have to wait till the next transfer window possibly to get a player. And they're already spread thin. You know, they're using youth players, 18, 19-year-olds. You know, Guendouzi, who's like 18 years old, he put Jorginho in his pocket, man. And I know I'm late with this video. That's why I'm gonna do another video about the upcoming game against Spurs. Hopefully we have Higuain by then. But yeah, guys, I just wanted to get my thoughts out there because if these players, because Hazard's comments kind of proved Sarri to be right. Like there's lack of leadership in our locker room, weak mentality in our locker room. Players aren't giving it 100%. And we've seen it. And it's the same common denominator. Players are come and gone, but it's still the same players that you know, when a new manager comes in, it's still players that's been there for a long time. And Hazard, Willian, they stand out. Those two players, you know, who we've seen, if you go back to the 2015-2016 season, I believe, the last year of Jose Mourinho, you look at that team, you know, you had Costa. He was probably the only player that was playing with pride and heart that season, and Azpilicueta. It was only those two, and I don't know if we had Kante at the time. I don't think we didn't. We didn't have Kante at the time. We wound up getting him the next season, and yeah, man, that's just my opinion. Leave your comments and thoughts down in the description below. Peace, man. Hopefully we can get the win against Spurs. Because Spurs have a lot of injuries. I'm going to do a video on that later on. They have Dele Alli that's possibly out. He has a hamstring injury. We have Harry Kane who's out. You know, that's a big one. And I know they have some other players. I'm not sure. After looking into that, and they just lost Dembele. He got sold to a Chinese team. I don't know why they gave him up. He's like their best midfielder as far as like, that powerhouse in the midfield. I like his work. I like how he plays. He sees the field great. He cleans out. He's kind of like he's not as great as Kante is, but he plays that role quite well. He's probably as good as it gets if you're not Kante. So anyway, guys, subscribe if you're new. Appreciate y'all for giving me the chance, and I'm out.